Good day, everyone. Today, we will be discussing a very important and relevant topic: human rights in the Philippine criminal justice system. Human rights are the basic rights and freedoms that belongs to every person, regardless of nationality, gender, or social status. These rights include the right to life, liberty, and due process, which are all essential in ensuring justice and fairness. So now, let's start. Now I will be explaining one of the most important human rights in our justice system: the right to due process. The right to due process means that no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without fair and proper legal procedures. In simple terms, it ensures that everyone is treated fairly by the law and that no one is punished or judged without a proper hearing or evidence. This right is guaranteed under Article 3, Section 1 of the 1987 Philippine Constitution, which states, "No person shall be deprived of life, liberty, and property without due process of law." Next, I will be explaining another important human right: the right against illegal searches and seizures. This right protects every person from being searched or having their belongings taken by the authorities without a valid reason or legal basis. It is stated in Article 3, Section 2 of the 1987 Philippine Constitution, which says, "The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall be inviolable."
Hi everyone, I'm Mario Jean B. Espinosa. Akong i-explain ang about sa rights of suspect under custodial investigation o rights against unlawful arrest. So, rights of suspect under custodial investigation. So, rights upon arrest, right to remain silent, right to an attorney. So, sa Pilipinas, natay karapatan nga pag ikaw maaresto, nakay karapatan na manatiling manahimik or right to remain silent. Pasabutan ni dili nimo kinahanglan tubagon ang mga pangutana sa imo sa otoridad kung di ka gusto. Kaduha, nakay karapatan nga magnawag sa imong abogado or humingi ng abogado or right to an attorney. Dapat jud nga tagaan kanila og chance nga makaistorya nimo imong abogado. At deserve sila magpadayon sa unsa pamandra nga investigasyon. So, sa danger of forced confession, pag ginapugos or ginapilit kang mag-angkon or mag-confess sa otoridad, pwede nga mali or dili tinuod ang imong maingon. So, pag kani mahitabo, pwede pug ka maparasahan. Legal protections to prevent abuse during custodial investigation. So, naputay batas nga no nga protection para maiwasan ang pag-abuso sa mga nasa kustodiya ng mga otoridad. So, dapat po ni siya ginasunod sa mga pulis or investigador ang sakto nga proseso o respetuhon nila ang karapatan sa isa ka akusado. Right against unlawful arrest, right upon arrest, right to remain silent. Nay karapatan na manahimik or dili tubagon sa akusado otoridad na pwede gamiton laban sa iya. Napod sila karapatan na maistorya sa ilang abogado at discern nila tubagon ang mga pangutana sa ila sa otoridad. So, danger of forced confessions. Ang pagpugos sa usa ka akusado na ang kunon ang sala, pwede siya mag-result sa mali nga decision. Legal protections to prevent abuse during custodial investigation. So, nadyo tay batas or process na nagaprotekta sa isa ka akusado laban sa pang-abuso habang siya ay nasa kustodiya ng mga otoridad.
So, hi everyone. Ako din si Erica Figucharis Marata. So, this is my report. And ang akong topic is rights of the accused. So, number one, presumption of innocence. Every person is innocent until proven guilty daw. So, bawat tao ay tinuturing na innocent hanggang mapatunayan nagkasala. Ang tagausigan dapat ay mapatunay na nagkasala ang akusado nang walang makatuwirang ng pag-aalinlangan. So, number two, right to a speedy trial and fair hearing. So, number two is ginagarantiyahan na ang akusado ay magkakaroon ng napapanahong paglilitis. Tinitiyak na ang paglilitis ay sinasagawa ng walang kinikilingan. So, three is legal representation, right to a lawyer during trial. So money siya is ang akusado ay may karapatang magkaroon ng abogado sa panahon ng paglilitis. Kung hindi kaya magbayad ng abogado, dapat daw maghatag daw ang estado ng hinigan ng payo. So, number 7 is right to bail. Money siya. So, number 1 is constitutional right to bail. Ang piyansa ay isang karapatang konstitusyonal, ngunit may mga exception nito. May mga non-available offense sa mga lubhang krimen kung saan ang akusado ay nagpapakita ng malaking panganib na tumakas o panganib sa lipunan. So, number 2, mga nagyapon siya, no? So, tinitimbang daw ng mga korte ang mga panganib na maaaring tumatakas ang akusado o pagdulot ng panganib sa lipunan. Ang balanse na ito ay nagtatakda kung ang piyansa ay ibibigay at sa ilalim ng anong mga conditions. So, number 3, the balance between the legal bill of the rest. So, the balance is tinitimbang lang ito sa mga korte ang pagpanganib na maaaring tumatakas na ng akusado sa magdulot ng panganib sa lipunan. Muna siya. Din ang number lasa na is kanado tayo mayroong forma na pamaraan para sa maghatag daw pagkakait na piyansa. Tinitiyak po daw na ang posisyon ito ay due process at pagiging patas.
Protection against excessive fines and cruel punishments. So this constitutional rights ensures that punishment is both humane and proportionate to the crime committed. First is the provision of cruel, inhuman, and degrading punishment. Article 3, Section 19, this forbids the state from inflicting penalties that are extremely painful, barbarous, or that strip a person of their basic human dignity. Example, torture. This protection applies even to those found guilty of crimes. Second is principle of proportionality in penalties. This is the core concept. It means the severity of the penalty, such as prison, time, or fines, must be commensurate with the severity of the crime. For example, a person cannot receive life imprisonment for a minor offense like jaywalking. The punishment must match the offense. Third is legal applications of excessive fines. The state is also prohibited from imposing fines that are unreasonably large or beyond what is necessary to cover the damage caused or to act as a proper deterrent. Right against double jeopardy. This principle provides a vital safeguard against government overreach by ensuring that a person cannot be persecuted indefinitely for a single offense. First is the double jeopardy. It means that once a person has been duly tried in court for a specific crime and has been either acquitted, found not guilty, or convicted, found guilty, they cannot be tried again for that exact same offense in the same jurisdiction. Second, constitutional protection. Article 3, Section 21. This protection grants the accused a sense of finality. Once the legal process is complete, the accused should be able to move forward with their life without the constant fear of being retried by the state, even if new evidence later emerge. Third, implications for criminal justice. It serves to prevent the state from using its power to repeatedly harass, exhaust, or financially burden an individual with multiple trials for the same charge until they achieve a conviction. Women's rights. This section highlights the specific laws and mechanism in place with the criminal justice system designed to protect women, especially as victims of crime. First is special protection for women in the criminal justice system. This refers to procedural safeguards and sensitivity measures established to protect women who interact with the legal system, particularly victims of sexual violence or domestic abuse. Second, laws protecting women from violence, example, Anti-Violence Against Women and Children Act or BAUSI. This emphasizes specific statutes like the Anti-Violence Against Women under Children Act, Republic Act 9262, which penalize various forms of abuse committed by a man against a woman he is or was in a relationship with. This includes physical, sexual, psychological, and even economic abuse. Role of law enforcement in safeguarding women's rights. Police and other state agencies have a mandatory duty to respond promptly, seriously, and sensitively to complaints filed by women, ensuring their safety and the full enforcement of their protective rights under these laws.
So, maayong gabi sa tanan. Ako na ay si Princess Mar Gazelle Ponce. So, ang akong report is children's rights. So, children's rights, ano siyang special provision for minors in criminal law. So, gitawag ni siyang juvenile justice system, rehabilitation over punishment. So, mo na siyang protection from exploitation and abuse. Mo na siya ang tawag. Basta mga kaso na siya sa mga bata, tawag na ana niya is juvenile justice system. Next is Indigenous Peoples Rights Act. So, ang indigenous people, recognizing the rights of indigenous people in the Philippines, dire sa Pilipinas. Ang ilahang rights to ancestral domain, culture and the integrity and self-determination. Impact of the law in protecting indigenous communities in legal matters. Then the conclusion is human rights play pivotal role in ensuring fairness, patas, and justice with the Philippines. Criminal justice system from the right of due process to protect for vulnerable groups like women, children, and indigenous people. This right safeguards individuals against abuse and discrimination. Upholding these rights is essential not only for protecting the dignity and the accused but also for maintaining public trust in the legal system. As future criminologists, understanding and advocating for this protection is crucial to promoting justice and human rights dignity in our society. Reference: the 1987 Constitution of the Republic Act of the Philippines, Article 3, Bill of Rights. Republic Act number 7438 and www.billygratis.com. Republic Act number 9344 and Juvenile Justice and Welfare Act of 2006. Republic Act number 8371, Indigenous Peoples' Rights Act of 1997. Thank you very much, and that is the report of the Group 6. God bless us